first ever Dorian Destinations podcast. We're a little nervous. I'm checking my hair. Well, since this is our first one, we obviously have to introduce ourselves, right? So I'm Franco, and this is
Shannon.
And we are a husband and wife duo that have a passion for traveling. We're travel advisors, and we just want to talk everything travel, everything about getting away from your everyday life into somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I agreed.
That's okay. That's short and simple. But yes, so that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to give you some updates on what's happening in the travel world. We're going to give you some of our point of views on certain things, and if God willing, we'll have some nice, interesting folks join us for interviews. So that should be pretty fun. And of course, my favorite segment is the wine that we're going to be drinking every episode. And thanks to Wine Text Gary V, we're going to be sampling a bottle and talking a little bit about its history. So why not, right?
Cheers.
Cheers to our first one.
There you go. Slanta.
Cheers. Okay, so let's get into our first little segment here today.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah. The real ID.
Yes.
20 years in the making, folks. 20 years in the making. You want to give us a little bit of insight in that, or?
So, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be May 7th of this year, 2025. All of our driver license need to have a little gold star on the top. And this will be done through your DMV. So if your driver's license is not updated, just go ahead and update. You don't really need to do anything. The DMV will be doing it for you. It's just for domestic flying, so you don't need it to go international. Just in case you are flying after May 7th and you do not have that gold star, you can have your global entry and even your passport you can use through domestic traveling. But it is good to get that little gold star on your driver's license.
So let me get this straight. It took 20 years.
Yes,
for the government to come up with the idea that domestically in the U.S. we need a gold star on our driver's license to travel.
The idea, brewed in their brain in 2005.
That's 20 years.
20 years later, it's finally happening. We get things done in our government really fast.
Yeah, so. Our oldest daughter was 1 when that thought came about. I think it's important that we kill the myths with the facts, right? So I think our first segments are going to be like fact versus myth.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, you guys want
like
that?
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. That's it.
Right.
We're the travel Mythbusters. By the way, the only reason why I agreed to do this is because I get to drink during the day.
Agreed. This was his idea.
Okay, so is this a national ID card?
No, it's not a national ID card.
So false. It's not. So from what I hear, it's just state the information on your ID. It's just like a regular driver's license.
Yeah, it's going to be through where your driver's license is given to you. So if you live in New York will issue it, and Florida, and so on and so on and so on and so on.
All right. Does it require extra documentation to get your ID?
No, if you can get a driver's license, you should be able to get your little gold star.
That's so weird. Okay. Does your current driver's license automatically make it a real ID?
If you're getting it issued again recently, just double check, because I don't know if it's what the gap is.
Because I know I got it automatically.
I got it on mine too, but I also had to renew it not too long ago. So, but double check, because not all driver's licenses do have that gold star.
Okay, this is a good one. This is for the conspiracy theorists.
Oh, let's.
Ready? Does the real ID let the government track you?
No, it does not. There's no GPS in the gold star. There's no chip inside the gold star. Is that what you're asking?
That's because I read that. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happens. No, it's just a cute little gold star.
It's really good wine, by the way. It's even better in the mornings.
We won't tell you how early in the morning it is.
Yeah. So, okay, so basically this is just for domestic travel, right? Like
It's
this
domestic.
Okay.
Throughout the U.S., yes.
Okay, so you could still travel with your passport, but so what's the purpose of this real ID?
I mean, there's many purposes. It all started actually from the terrorist attacks from 9/11. So that's when they actually implemented this real ID domestically through the U.S. But it's just taken this long for it to go into effect, and then now they just actually put a deadline to it. So that's where it all originated from.
Yeah. So I and I'm sorry, and we're here to provide information, but I'm also going to provide my opinion. I think it's a little dumb. It's a star. Like that's all it is on your driver's license. You know, I just think that it's going to cause more chaos. You know, than anything. Like just give me your driver's license. Why does it have to have a star on it?
I think maybe because some people were traveling with false identification throughout the U.S.
Well, there you have it, folks. Get your gold star so you could travel.
It's like a sheriff gold star.
Like a sheriff, get your gold star. Like if we're back in elementary school, get your gold star so you could be a good little boy and girl and travel
domestically.
Not domestically, yes, travel. If I want to go to New York now, I need my gold star. So there you go, the real ID. Thank you, Shannon, for the information on that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, I want to go into what I would like to call my in-between segment, right? Where I want to talk about...
I missed that on the notes.
I want to talk about, before we get into some real serious stuff...
I'm not sure what we're talking about, but go ahead.
It's on my paper is segment 2.5, but I'm just going all over the place.
Okay,
That's what happens when you have wine. So basically, I want to talk about this great segment.
Yes.
What? You do have 2.5.
I don't see it, but go ahead, Len. I'm rolling with it.
Basically, I just want to talk about this wine, LETO, from LETO Cellars. It's in Napa Valley. This is a red blend. It's beautiful. Do you know...
We're in California. Most
Yes.
of these wines that we usually get are not in the country, so this is pretty cool. This one's a California
and
one.
it's really good, by the way.
Yeah.
And you know, just like us, my love, the owners of this winery are husband and wife.
Look at that.
Yeah. And they both worked for what is it? Robert Modal. What's the famous wine? The wine guy. From Napa Valley.
I don't have my notes. I can't
Mondavi.
Mondavi.
Robert Mondavi.
Oh, so wait, it's the same company?
No, they worked with Robert Mondavi in the 70s.
Oh, and then they decided
And then
to
they
get
decided
their
to get their own boutique winery.
Very cool.
And it's really cool. It's a husband and wife. I thought it was a great choice for our first episode since we're going in this endeavor together.
There you go.
Yeah. So cheers, everyone. Please.
It's a little cheesy.
It's super cheesy, but you can't have a little cheese without wine.
There, I like that.
You like that? That was good. I'm trying. So make sure you guys look this up, LETO Cellars, or go to Wine Text with Gary V and live the life that we're living. So now let's get back to business.
Okay. So you want to continue with these, the real IDs, visas, and all sorts of stuff that's happening in Europe.
In Europe, because we're frustrated Europeans at heart. So now apparently it's called the ETIAS travel authorization. It's not a visa, by the way, right?
No, it's something like a visa, but it's not technically a visa. And visas have changed, whereas before you would have to go and get like this big stamp and put inside your passport and stuff. Everything is now electronical. So what's really cool is that it was supposed to come out, in 2025, but Europeans are, they live the good life. So they've now pushed it back to 2026, the last quarter. And it's good for 3 years, and you can travel all throughout Europe. And you do it electronically. You could do it. There's going to be an app. They haven't pushed it out yet, but it's kind of cool because then you can go through any EU country, not England. Or
not Switzerland, I saw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did my research as well.
Look at you.
Yeah.
And it's like €7. It's nothing. You just do it. You have it on the app. You just have to upload like your passport, and then like you're good to go. We actually recently did it last month when we went to London. London has their own that is already in effect, and it was easy. It was called the ETA UK, and it was like £10, $12. And it took 2 seconds, and it tells you it's going to let you know in 48 hours or something.
It's not as bad as the media makes it out to be, like anti-American. It's actually had nothing to do with America. It's any country that needs a visa or something to travel. It's quite easy, like you said. It's not.
It took 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not too bad, and actually, it's valid until 3 years.
The European one is, but not the UK. Oh, the UK is up to 2 years.
Yeah, up to 2 years.
But still, it's easy. It was $10, and honestly, when we went through customs, it was when they took our passport, it just shows up already on their end that we did it. So I didn't even have to tell them anything.
Yeah. So what are the requirements?
You need to have a passport, for sure. And really, that was it. I mean, it was really that easy. There's no conspiracy. There is no chip. There's no.
So for the conspiracy,
no gold star.
So for the conspiracy theorists, are they tracking you internationally?
No, they're not. But Europe. If you've ever been, it's really easy to get around and stuff like that. So it's just good that it's on your passport. And you have it. You have it for 3 years. It's that easy. And now even Brazil. Yesterday I was helping a client, and Brazil now is it just is going into effect April 5th. They're doing one as well, but theirs was a little pricey. It was like $80.
Well, it's Brazil.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to validate their.
I don't know the validation, but it was expensive.
Man, this wine is really good.
Yeah. And that one's going into effect April 5th.
So, do you think that they're doing all this jazz because they're trying to limit the amount of tourists? Because I know, like, for example, Venice has, like, also a tax or something, right? Like, what does Venice have?
Venice has, it's only like a couple weeks in the end of June and July, where you have to pay, like, an entry tax, unless you're staying at one of their hotels. It's already in your price, and it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to limit. I mean, and also too, especially Europe after the pandemic, the travel industry really blew up. So I don't know. I mean, $7 is not going to deter me. So
I know, but I mean that. So I started thinking about this. I'm like, it's like they have to do something, because we went to Italy in the summer, and that was just like, I don't think I ever, and I adore Italy. Okay, I adore Italy, and I don't think I ever want to do Italy in the summer.
Well,
it's a little too much. Like, I think they need to do something to kind of
like to maybe like
like over tourism, like that's affecting, because
but then that's how they make their money.
I know, but they could spread it out, or they could again do these type of visa things where, for us it might not deter, but there's some other folks that would be deterred, like, oh, I don't want to pay this extra $7, or these conspiracy theorists that think they're being tracked. That's, I just feel like they have to do something. And I think this is probably an effort or a step to doing that.
I don't know, but if you reverse it, imagine like Americans saying, "Oh no, only X amount of people are allowed to come here."
I know we're technically doing it, but
so I just
no, but I mean,
I don't think they can do that.
No, but like, okay, so it's different, right? I think the United States has. I mean, it's massive. United States is massive. I mean, I was born and raised here, and I still haven't seen all the United States. Italy is not as big as the United States. France is not as big as the United States. And then these are massive, tourist spots. And Americans actually are the ones that travel a lot to Europe. So I just feel like, I don't know, there's something that has to be done, like, at least from the European side, to be like...
Are you just mad that when you go there's too many Americans?
That's exactly what it is. I have social anxiety. This
has nothing to do with the country. This has to do with him going to Europe.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, but I just think that it's an interesting thing that now we're starting to see all these things, and I know we have both read and we both experienced over tourism, and to be honest with you, if I'm paying for a trip, thousands of dollars, and then I'm stuck in a line to go see, a relic, or it's too hot or it's too crowded. Like, I'm not getting my money's worth. I think now more than ever, and this is the shameless plug for travel advisors, it's important to go to a travel advisor and see your options, to see where my money, like the value of my money, right? I don't want to go to a place where tens of thousands of people are going at the same time, and I'm not going to experience that.
That's so I'm actually going to plug this Viator. Especially like in Italy, if you want to go to the Colosseum, before you could just walk up to the Colosseum and buy your ticket. I mean, I remember doing that 25 years ago. That's not the case anymore. So if you want to go see the Colosseum, you have a ticket just for the entry, or you have a ticket for an entry and a tour, a ticket for an entry through the side door and underground, and these are all that you have to get through Viator now. But what's great is that it's giving the jobs to locals and Italians to have a job through Viator, and then they get to do their tour through the Colosseum. They're making money, and then that money also goes back to the Colosseum. So then that way, they're giving jobs, and they're also limiting how many people are going in. So if you go through Viator, and by the way, travel advisors work with Viator, just to let you know. And when we book, we can say, it says their limit is only 3 people left in that tour. So they are trying to control.
Got it. So it's a little bit more controlled.
Exactly. Same thing with the Vatican and stuff like that. So I do see it mostly in Italy. I think Italy is one of the top travel places in Europe. So I see it more controlled there. But it's great because it's like a win-win. They get to control how many people are coming in and out. And it's giving locals another job to do for tourism.
Good. So I'm glad there's steps being done, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not digging that Italy in the summer situation. I'm not discouraging people not to travel to Italy in the summer.
It's a lot of people.
It's
and
just
this
a lot.
Even worse, just to let you know, because there is the Jubilee happening at the Vatican.
And then in 2026, around our home in Italy, there's going to be the Winter Olympics. So that's going to be, forget summer, the winter is going to be insane up there too.
I'm skiing.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but I can't.
I thought you were doing the shuffle.
No, like shuffle would be like this. I'm poles.
I'm not going to lie. I think this is probably one of the most magnificent debuts in a podcast history. And we're a part of it.
Yeah, so, we are. Yeah. Cheers. Do we do another?
Yeah, a little cheers.
Cheers.
To Dorian Destinations, our first podcast, and
there you go.
Possibly not the last. So thank you everyone who's listening. I think we gave you some vital information in our first one. We promise to bring you some more insights, opinions, and everything that has to do with travel and expeditions. So please don't forget to check out the LETO Cellars wine, some of the best. A wine text with Gary V is my recommendation. Sincerely, we love you very much. If you like us, please subscribe to us, comment, let us know what topics you're interested in hearing, and we'll get back to you and make sure we do it. Ciao from Franco.
And Shannon.
We love you very much. Dorian Destinations out.
Cheers.